Welcome to Layer of Secrets. Today we're talking Insta-Cities with random generators. In our Build Better Cities episode of Campaigns and Coffee, we talked about how to make your city feel real and lived in. In this episode, I'm ignoring all that advice and going to look at a bunch of random generators you can use to spawn Insta-Cities. So, let's talk random generators. To start, I'm going to go with Watabou, which is an awesome city generator, city and village generators. By default, you click into the link, boom, it spawns a lovely looking city like the one that I've right here. Once you've got the city actually up in front of you, though, you can come in and you can click on, generate, and come in and choose different settings that you want. So I want city walls, I want rivers, maybe I want some greens. Shanty towns are good too, right? So now I can choose my size, and boom, it's going to automatically rebuild the map. And so that is pretty cool, right? So we have a nice little bay. We've got named districts, which is very nice. We've got this city wall, big citadel, river coming in, these kind of sprawling districts coming out. I love how it feels organic. I love that we've got some docks here, and it's pretty darn cool. And then actually when you move over things, it'll highlight what different areas you've got. So that's very nifty. There's some other options in here, like there's different styles for how you can change things around. It also has some warp capabilities, so if you want to change the layout, you can just kind of click on warp and then make it do something different. Let's see. There we go. So I can just drag this out. I don't know you actually want city walls look like that, but you can mess around with the layout pretty easily, and it's got just all of these very interesting and different settings. The interface isn't always that intuitive, but I really liked playing around with this one, and it's great on like daylight today, which is windy and rainy and all of that. You can just sit around spawning as many towns as you want. The stuff I like about it, definitely labeled districts, the ability to create with or without city walls, usually has interesting geography, and it's very easy to export and just start using in your campaign. Next up, we're going to talk about the Donjon Fantasy Town Generator. Donjon is a generator that has been around forever and ever. I've used it in dozens of campaigns over the years, I think. As you can see on the left here, they've got just generators for freaking everything. But in this case, we're going to be looking at the town generator. It's got some pretty cool options. So it's got styles that are based on real world cultures, and they're pretty comprehensive, which is nice. You can do different kinds of fantasy species like human, dwarf, and elf. You can choose the size of the town, going all the way from Thorpe, it's super tiny, to Metropolis. So let's go with Hamlet, and see it. Boom! It just randomly resizes the map for you. The other cool thing is it comes in and just creates a whole bunch of stats about the place, like notable places, a couple of NPCs, who it's run by, that kind of thing, population of the town. So it's pretty cool. You can generate a random name. You can have different environments. So if you want it to be set in the mountain, it's going to change the background. It's a very basic map. It's not going to be super detailed like what we saw with the last one. But in terms of quick and dirty, I think it works great. And it's also awesome just for inspiration. And you got to love that it's kicking out those NPCs. The next generator I want to talk about is the Oskarstålberg city generator. And this one's funky. So no, I click on this and you come into a blank screen. And when you click on it, it spawns the city, which is pretty nifty. So I think this is actually better for more modern maps. And it's also really good if you're just looking for, I think, inspiration. I don't know that I would just steal this map and go with it. I think I might use this to draw out my own map. But if you want to make it denser, you can just keep clicking inside of areas and it will increase the density of that particular area and redraw it for you. So pretty cool. It's fast. I love watching the thing grow, and you can quickly morph it just by, clicking around. So this is pretty fun generator. I recommend checking it out, especially again, like if you're writing some modern or sci-fi game. I think these kind of layouts would be. Next up, we have This City Does Not Exist, aka the Nightmare City Generator, or at least that's how I think about it. It creates aerial views of cities based on real world city images that it took from Google Earth. And so it can make things that are really realistic looking, and occasionally it can make things that are really weird. So clearly this is on Mars, right? This is definitely not on Earth. But if I just hit reload, You can see, okay, well, this is more of a traditional Earth looking location. It can get weird at times as I keep clicking through this. It's not always going to really accurately represent a real world city. But again, I think if you're looking for orbital shots, if you're just trying to say, hey, you've arrived on this planet, here's this city, I think it's great for that. Also, just great from having just random little contours. You're trying to figure out, I want this organic feel to my city. How do I do that? Well, these kind of maps will certainly help you with that. And then the last one I want to talk about is Fantasy Town Generator. This thing is ridiculous. It has an impressive and perhaps overwhelming number of options. So we're going to go in here. I don't have an account set up on it right now, but you can create a temporary settlement. Come in. I've got my town. You can go all the way up to Metropolis if you're logged in. You can choose whether or not it's coastal, rivers, what the lifestyle is like. Is it walled? Right. Some of the checkboxes we were seeing before. I'm just gonna check it all. Right. And then create my temporary settlement. So it goes through. It's rendering the map. Pretty nifty. Okay. So you think, wow. Okay, that's an okay map. Not too bad. But now I can click into this particular area, and this is a location. This is the Strongman headquarters. It's an adventurers guild. And here are all the people who are currently in this particular building. And that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is now I can move through the day, and people will leave the building. People will come back and move around the town. So it's super, super detailed. It's very fun to just kind of sit around and play with. Let's see if I turn districts. You can have pins. It's really cool if you log in and you need an Insta City. If you log in, you can save your options. You can add new people. You can create events. It's just, wow. Someone's been accused of sabotaging the headquarters in an act of rebellion, right? It's very cool map. Very cool city. I think you can have a ton of fun playing with this. Ridiculous number of details, but I definitely recommend checking it out. The links to all of these will be in the show notes and in the so the link to all of these will be in the show notes. They'll also be available directly on YouTube as part of the comments for this particular episode. If you're liking what we're doing at the Lair of Secrets, stop by YouTube, like and subscribe, or check us out at lairofsecrets.com, where you can find all of the content that we've ever published.